What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. All right, so we are going to continue our coverage over the Evolutionary War, and now we pick up with Fantastic Four Annual number 21. Now, when it comes to the Fantastic Four, it's not your usual team roster. You do have the Thing in the Human Torch, but you also have Crystal from the Inhumans, and you also have She-Thing as well. Now, with that being said, remember, the Evolutionary War is all about the idea of the High Evolutionary wanting to advance the human race, because when it came to the High Evolutionary, he was able to create a counter Earth on the other side of the sun, except the Earth was taken away by the Beyonders. And when it came to the High Evolutionary, when he went to go confront them to get it back, he realized how powerful they were. And so then he had a new goal, to advance the human race, but this time to hopefully reach the point of godlike creatures. And so when it comes to the Evolutionary War, he has gone out of his way to do different things around the world and on the moon for this book to try to see how he's able to advance the human race. Now, when it comes to this chapter, you are going to have the Inhumans fighting against the Fantastic Four for one character, and that would be, well, Crystal. Now, when it comes to Crystal, she's part of the royal family of the Inhumans because she is the little sister to Medusa, who is the queen of the Inhumans. Now, when it comes to Crystal, the reason why she left the Inhumans to rejoin the Fantastic Four is because of her failed marriage. You see, she was married to Quicksilver. Matter of fact, they had a child together around this time, and her name is Luna. Now, when it came to Quicksilver, he began to not pay her enough attention to the point where she kind of moved on to another man. And of course, that made him very upset, to the point where he began to be evil again and do some evil things to different superhero teams. Now, once all that information came together, when it came to Crystal, she said, hey, listen, I am done with Quicksilver. I'm going to move on and be with somebody else. But when it comes to the royal family, it's not okay to divorce the man that you have supposedly married. You are supposed to work things out and continue to be with that person. And for her, that was not okay at all. And so she left the team to go rejoin the Fantastic Four. Now, here's the thing, because she was also in a relationship with Johnny Storm. And so with her being back, you have these two characters right now kind of going back down memory lane, wondering if they could possibly work things out and get back together. But they can't, because Johnny Storm is married to Alicia Masters. And so unfortunately, these two characters really cannot be together at all. But then out of nowhere, you do have the Fantastic Four be confronted by a hologram-like system from the Inhumans, really from Black Bolt and Medusa, who are trying to contact, well, Crystal to say, hey, you now have to come back home. And the reason why? Because Quicksilver is here, and Quicksilver has forgiven you for, apparently stepping out, but also we believe it's good for you two to work things out and get back together for the sake of the family. Now, for Crystal, it is a automatic no, because again, he turned evil. He had abandoned her and also their daughter in her eyes. And so she believes this man is a lunatic, and there is no way that she'll be able to go back home to just get back with him and pretend like everything is okay. But like I said earlier, when it comes to the Inhuman family, they're really big on just working things out and staying with the person that you had apparently married. But they do tell her, if you don't come back, we are going to force you to come back home to talk things out with Quicksilver to remarry him. And they were not joking at all, because they were able to teleport right over to the Baxter building, the home of the Fantastic Four. And this does lead into a battle between the two teams. Now we have to jump over to the moon, where we pick up with the High Evolutionary, who's about to get ready to attack the home of the Inhumans. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the High Evolutionary, in our earlier videos, I have mentioned that he has different groups of people that help him achieve different goals around the world. So, for example, we have met the Purifiers and the Eliminators. But now we are being introduced to a third group, and that would be the Gatherers. Now, at this moment right here, he has the Gatherers and the Eliminators, and they are getting ready to attack the home of the Inhumans, better known as the Attilan. Now, the reason why he's trying to attack their home is to get his hands on the Terrigen Mist, and I really hope I pronounced that first word correctly. Now, when it comes to the Terrigen Mist, it has the ability to unlock an Inhuman's DNA genetics. Let me explain. So if you are just a regular human and you believe that you are just a regular human, out of nowhere, you could be hit with the Terrigen Mist that would then unlock your Inhuman DNA, which means unlock your powers as well. And so when it comes to the High Evolutionary, he believes there's something in there that could possibly help him to advance the human race into godlike creatures. Now, while you have the Gatherers and you also have the Eliminators attacking the home of the Inhumans, out of nowhere, he is confronted by the Watcher. Now, when it comes to the Watcher, his main goal, really his only goal, is to watch, to see how things play out when it comes to us humans. Now, he also gives us a breakdown of what happened so far in the Evolutionary War, but when it comes to the High Evolutionary, he does ask the Watcher, do you believe that what I am doing is the right thing to do to help out the human race? And you have the Watcher say, listen, my only thing to do here is to watch, and that is it. I'm backing out. So besides that, I cannot tell you my opinion. I can only say I am the Watcher. Now, while you do have the Gatherers and the Eliminators attacking the home of the Inhumans, we see that Quicksilver is there as well. Now, he knows when it comes to the Eliminators and the Gatherers, the reason why they are there for the Terrigen Mist. And so he tells everyone there, you have to make sure that these guys are not able to reach that at all. And so he is trying his best to lead an army against the forces of the Eliminators and the Gatherers. Now, getting back over to the battle between the Fantastic Four and the Inhumans, we could say the battle ended on a draw. Now, the reason why I'm saying this because the book is trying to tell us that. But for me personally, I say no, the Inhumans clearly won and the Fantastic Four just lost. But either way, while you have the two teams wondering what to do next, they're both interrupted by one Inhuman who came out of her way to inform both Black Bolt and Medusa what's happening back at home, that their home is being attacked by the Eliminators and also the Gatherers. Now, you do have the two teams agree to work together as a way to protect the Attilan from this unknown force. Now, you do have the Fantastic Four and the Inhumans being able to get back there just in time to help out the Inhumans and Quicksilver to protect their home. And honestly, the next few pages is just a battle to see our heroes fight against the forces of the Eliminators and also the Gatherers. Now, once they do lose the battle, the bad guys, they run back to their master, the High Evolutionary, who just leaves just like that. Now, when it comes to our heroes, their main goal was to continue to follow these guys and to be able to grab one of them to hopefully learn more about what in the world is currently going on. But apparently the High Evolutionary was able to get them all out of there just in time before our heroes were able to grab one. Now, the Watcher knows where they went to. If you have our heroes ask the Watcher, do you know where the guys went off to? So we can find them and hopefully stop them from doing something else on Earth or possibly somewhere else in the universe. Now, like we saw earlier, when it comes to the Watcher, he is not allowed to say anything at all about his opinions or what he has saw. The only thing he can say is, hey, I am the Watcher and my job is to watch, and that is it. Now, out of nowhere, you didn't have another Watcher appear. Now, apparently this was huge because for a long time, our heroes only believed that there was one Watcher, but out of nowhere, there's now two. which kind of brings in the idea, the possibility of an entire race of Watchers. Now, you do have our heroes ask the second Watcher, do you know what happened to the Eliminators, the Gatherers, and where they went to? Now, before the second Watcher is able to say anything, you have Zatu, the first Watcher, say, hey, we are not allowed to say anything at all. It's a quick reminder. And you have both Watchers leave just like that. Now, the book does kind of end on a very quick, fast, wrapped up moment, because let's not forget, the original purpose of this story, or this chapter, sorry, was really more of, will Crystal leave the Fantastic Four to go back home with the Inhumans? Now, at the beginning of the end point of the story, she says, no, I'm staying with the Fantastic Four, except you have Black Bolt take her somewhere else on the moon so they are allowed to talk to one another. And when it comes to their conversation, he says, I want you to stay because we are family. The entire race, the Inhumans, we are family and we need you back here with us. Now, for her, it's kind of like, who cares? But then she remembers, if she does go back home to the Fantastic Four, there is a possibility that Johnny might leave the team, because Johnny is also kind of falling back in love with her, but let's not forget he is married, and that could ruin his marriage. And so in his mind is more of, I should leave before I do something wrong with her that could possibly ruin my marriage. And she says, to kind of protect Johnny and protect the Fantastic Four, I'll leave instead and come back home to my family, which she does. And the book ends on that note. So for me, this chapter wasn't really that great at all when it comes to the overall picture of the Evolutionary War. Now, here's the thing. We're only halfway through. We still have like 5-6 more chapters to go, which means I could find an even worse chapter than this one right here, but who knows? But with that being said, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.